The agenda tonight is call to order, approval of the minutes, new business, CBA rules and regulations. And at 7:15, new business is case number 16.01, 524 Newburyport Turnpike. And adjournment later. So, I'll open the meeting now, call to order at 7:03. And we all had a chance to read the minutes?
Yep.
From our previous meeting?
I have.
Yep. Any additions or corrections?
Not for me.
Hearing none. Do I hear a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
I'll sign minutes of November 19th.
No. Minutes of December 17th.
Huh?
Minutes of December 17th.
I need one. You got it. Okay, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Minutes of December 17th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Yeah, it's out. Okay. Well, we're a little ahead of schedule, but I think everybody's here that's going to be here. So, why don't we get right into it, so that we can all get out of here early tonight. Okay, I have some preliminary stuff that I have to go through, so bear with me. Public hearing, case number 1601 for an application received from Jeff Antonelli and a special permit for a change of use at 524 Newburyport Turnpike. This public hearing will proceed in an orderly fashion. I ask the cooperation in the following procedure. Everyone present will be given the opportunity to be heard after the application is presented and the board members have asked questions. The secretary will be recording what is said. Therefore, when you address the board, begin by stating your name and address. Speak slowly and clearly. Only one person will be allowed to speak at a time. At this time, does any member of the board have any conflict of interest in this case?
No.
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 No. Okay. I'm going to appoint Peter Carpentier to be the fifth member for tonight's meeting. In this case. Okay, public hearing of this application was posted in the town hall, sent to a certified list of parties in interest, and was published in the town comment on January 6, 2016 and January 13, 2016, and reads as follows. Case number 16.01. A public hearing will be held at the Town Hall Annex, 39 Central Street on Thursday, January 21st, 2016 at 7:15 p.m. to act on an application received December 22nd, 2015 from Jeff Antonelli. Applicant is requesting a special permit from the Board of Appeals to change the existing non-conforming use on the property from a landscaping and retail power equipment business to a landscaping and fence business under section 5.2 of the Raleigh zoning bylaws. Property is located at 524 Newburyport Turnpike, Raleigh, Mass. The property is in the outlying district and is shown on Assessors Map 19, Block 9, Lot 0. At the public hearing, members of the public may ask questions and present evidence that supports either the approval or denial of this petition. The purpose of this hearing is for the board to hear and consider the pertinent facts relating to the application and to approve with conditions or deny. Before hearing from the public, the applicant will be allowed to present their case, and then board members will be allowed to ask questions or comment. The applicant now has the floor. Before I do that, I gotta read into the record
Department letters.
the application. Okay. I missed the whole section here. Application of the Board of Appeals. The applicant is Jeff Antonelli, P.O. Box 335, Topsfield, Mass. Name and address of owner, if not applicant, is Agawam Wisteria Enterprises LLC, DBA Agawam Fence. He's a prospective purchaser for a special permit from the requirements of section 5.2 of the Raleigh Protective Zoning Bylaw. The premises at 524 Newburyport Turnpike. This is map 19, block 9. It's in the outlying district. The premises are in overlay district none. Deed is recorded in Essex Registry of Deeds, South, book number 32290, page 224. And has a variance or special permit and other zoning relief ever been requested, and that's checked off as yes. Description of proposed work, the uses continuous fence company and landscaping company at site. The reason for the request are as follows: transfer of ownership from Agawam Wisteria to Antonelli Enterprises Incorporated. He has all the check-offs from the Treasurer Department, Water Department, and Light Department.
Keep going.
Okay, we have the butters list.
Keep going. Department letters.
That's all in order. Lowe's them at 545 Newburyport Turnpike. None of them are here. You were worried about that.
Well, you never know.
Yes, keep going. It's in the back.
Okay. No, this one is-
It's in the back. He's,
Oh, you got it.
there's more to
I got
it.
it right
There's
there.
more to it, Dave. This is all.
Okay, go read. There we go. 2 letters from conservation.
That's all Concom.
So the whole thing is Concom.
Well, there's Concom and
Kirk.
Kirk and planning.
Okay, I can read these into the record, right?
Yeah.
You did get a copy of these, right?
One of them.
You saw Concom?
one board today.
There's also pictometry pictures in there that I couldn't send you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome to have copies of the other department letters.
I have to read these into the record because they were submitted to us. All right. Don't have a heart attack.
We got some
This
nitro.
this is from the Conservation Commission, addressed to Donald Thurston, Chairman, Zoning Board of Appeals, from Brent Baislick, Conservation Agent, dated January 20th, 2016. The application for a special permit, 524 Newburyport Turnpike, map 19, parcel lot 9, Jeff Antonelli, Antonelli Enterprises Incorporated, owned by AAK Realty Trust, Andrew Kazuba, trustee. Chairman Thurston, members of the Zoning Board of Appeals. The Conservation Commission Department has reviewed the application submitted and offers the following comments. 1. The Conservation Department requests clarification of the apparent discrepancy regarding property ownership. The Assessor's Office lists AAK Realty Trust, Andrew Kazuba, trustee, while the application submitted by Mr. Jeff Antonelli lists Agawam Wisteria Enterprises, LLC, as property owner. Please advise who is the legal owner. 2. The Conservation Department conducted a review of the files contained in our records and located a determination of applicability dated May 22nd, 1997, issued to FSC Landscaping and care of Mr. Craig Green with Salem 5-cent Savings Bank. There were conditions contained in this permit decision that included 1. 25-foot no disturbance strip along the wetland boundary. See attached plan, attached section. 2. Shrub line along the south side of the hay bale line. This will help to demarc the no disturbance strip once the hay bales are removed. 3. No stockpiles of landscaping materials within 50 feet of wetlands. There are 3 other conditions but do not appear germane to this review. The Conservation Department notes the included ZBA case 97-03 of April 27, 1997 appears to require compliance with permits, decisions, and conditions of the Conservation Commission. Specifically, direct reference is contained within conditions required to permit above finding. Numbers 2, 8, and 12 on pages 3 and 4 of 5 of the decision. See highlighted attachment. The Conservation Department conducted a review of the town pictometry imagery of April 21st, 2014 for present existing conditions in the subsequent years of 2007, 2005, and 2003. This imagery does not conform to the presence of a planting row of shrubs as depicted on the plans on file with Conservation Department dated April 14, 1997 by Apple Associates. The imagery does not conform to the establishment of a 25-foot width no disturbance strip zone adjacent to the depicted wetland resource area on the plans. The imagery appears to show stockpiled materials within 50 feet of the depicted wetland resource area, but it is not clear that these are landscaping materials. 5. Town pictometry imagery dated November 24, 2007 shows the establishment of a partially fenced-in storage area within the regulated 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands along the frontage to Newburyport Turnpike that is not present in the imagery dated May 6, 2005, and which is not depicted on the approved plans of 1997. The Conservation Department files do not contain a permit issued under the Wetlands Protection Act of the town's Wetlands Protection Bylaw, authorizing this installation or activity to construct. 6. Further review of abutting properties reveals the possible existing of regulated wetland resource areas at 510 Newburyport Turnpike to the west of Building B, as shown on the 1997 plan. It also appears that development of a gravel parking area and a structure that is used to store mulch and other landscaping materials was constructed possibly within 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands in the same vicinity. The Conservation Department files do not contain a permit decision for these development activities. The Conservation Department, in light of the above concerns and issues, is unable to recommend consideration of this application at this time. The department anticipates the issuance of a notice of violation to the owner of record in order to initiate a process for confirming some of the concerns noted above, and if appropriate, advising the owner on appropriate action to gain compliance with the Wetlands Protection Act, Wetlands Protection Bylaw. Thank you for the opportunity to comment. And then we have here and according to town records, AAK Realty is the owner of the property. Is that correct? I have the number. Determination of the applicability for FSC landscaping. Following are conditions imposed by the Raleigh Conservation Commission on 5/20/97 as part of a determination of applicability. The approved plan is that approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals, the site development plan prepared by Apple Associates dated 4/14/97. The boundary of the 100-foot buffer zone to wetlands is roughly the north end of the proposed building within the buffer zone. The following uses are allowed and or conditioned. 25-foot no disturbance strip along the wetland boundary during site preparation. This shall be marked by either a row or doubly staked, tightly butted hay bales and silt fence installed so that the lower edge is inserted tightly into the ground. Shrub line along the south side of the hay bale line. This will help to demarc the no disturbance strip once the hay bales are removed. No stockpiles of landscaping materials within 50 feet of the wetlands. Pavement strip along the building extending 40 feet out from the building on the north side. Well, if the well is drilled within 100 feet buffer zone, the slurry pit must be ringed with properly installed hay bales to prevent sedimentation across the lot into the wetlands. No vehicle storage, maintenance, or use of hazardous materials within a 100-foot buffer zone to wetlands. And we have a copy here of the determination of applicability, Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act. That was issued at that time. I don't have a clue who signed it. Can't read the signatures.
Griffin? That's another report.
Well, that's the notary.
And then we have a plot plan with proposed conditions.
So, that is still with us.
All right, number 3. Conditions required to permit above finding. Okay, this is a copy of the decision. Plan entitled Site Development Plan for FSC Landscaping Incorporated, prepared by, Apple Associates Incorporated, 74 Avenue, Newburyport, and revised 21st March 1997, sheet 101. 1, the business must meet all of the latest requirements of the Board of Health. Sewage disposal system must be approved by Board of Health. 2, all construction, including parking lot and all associated surface and subsurface drainage, must meet all requirements established by the Board of Health and the Conservation Commission. Parking will be as shown on the plan. Provision shall be made for handicap parking for the retail store. Existing curb cuts are to be used. Construction will occur in a manner to assure that no time is there no structure, and at no time are there more than 2 usable structures on the lot. Building B shall be constructed and placed in service first. Construction of Building A shall commence no later than April 1st, 1998. Construction of Building A shall commence within 30 days of the demolition of existing structure, weather conditions permitting. Existing sign may be utilized, the size and location to be shown on the plan. No other exterior signs are to be permitted. All hazardous material shall be stored inside or in dumpster storage area designated on the plan. 8, any change in the final plans, see note above, required by the Board of Health, Conservation Commission, or any other town board, or any state board or agency made after the date of approval of this permit, must be reviewed by the Raleigh Zoning Board of Appeals as a condition of continued approval of this permit. 9, failure to comply with and maintain all the provisions of this decision at any time shall be considered reason and grounds for the Board of Selectmen not to issue a renew any of all licenses and/or permits required to operate the facilities. 10, failure to comply with the provisions of this decision at any time shall be reasonable grounds for the building inspector to order the business closed until the facility is brought into compliance. 11, the Raleigh building inspector shall be entitled to enter upon the premises and conduct such inspections as are reasonably necessary to ensure compliance with this decision. 12, all items listed in this decision, together with all provisions, conditions, and construction required by the Board of Health, Conservation Commission, as well as those noted on the site plan as approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals, shall be completed prior to the issuance of the occupancy permit by the building inspector for Building A. Requested special permit granted by unanimous vote this 27th day of April 1997. Glenn Pygren, Tom Potts, Nathaniel Dummer, Donald Thurston. I'm the only one on the board that's on this. So, and we have pictures here. I think I'm going to ask Jeff if he'll take a look at these and tell me what's what.
You gotta read that into the record.
These are all old pictures.
Yeah, these are all old pictures.
Well, some are old.
Huh?
Some are
Okay,
old.
there's a 2014.
One is current.
2007 is the earliest one you got.
No,
No, 214.
More?
There's one 214.
2014.
There's 3, 7, 5, Oh, 13.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that one. They all look alike.
That's so helpful.
So all that is fence stuff right there, right? Not even that there now.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you ascertain as to what all this stuff is? Is this all fence material?
Yeah, it's all fence.
And what about this here?
All fence.
All fence?
Yeah, everything's all fence.
It's all fence.
Yep. Yeah. And this is the fenced-in area that they were talking about that I guess they didn't apply for a permit for. But this fence and the gate was all on the, and then there's a fence back here that's on the original plans.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Okay, so we got several pictures here. And we have map from the Board of Assessors, right?
Yeah.
Okay, showing a lot.
Put you there, it's all that.
Okay, then we got a, God,
Prince.
What do you have, a tall ladder to take these pictures or what?
got a letter here from the planning board. Zoning Board of Appeals from Kirk Baker, town planner. Let's see. I am receipt of Zoning Board of Appeals ZBA application 16.01 for a change of non-conforming use special permit for property located at 524 Newburyport Turnpike, Agawam Fence Company, to change the existing non-conforming use, landscaping and power equipment business to landscaping and fence business. The property is zoned outlying district and consists of 2 acres. Because of the proposed change in ownership necessitates a zoning change of use, approval by the ZBA in accordance with ZBA Section 521. The owner has submitted an application for special permit approval to bring his use into operational zoning compliance. After a review of the application and with consideration of the approved site plan, which was submitted with the application pack, I offer the following observations, comments, and recommendations on behalf of the planning board. In addition to a narrative which specifically details the operations of the proposed use, the ZBA should request information from the applicant pertaining to proposed hours of operation, total number of employees, estimated number of daily vehicle trips, outdoor storage and equipment, hazardous materials. 2, a site plan specific to the proposed use was not submitted with the application packet. Instead, the 1997 site plan layout was submitted with this application. However, there appears to be discrepancies between the approved plan and the existing layout. The ZBA should ascertain if the approved layout will suffice for the current use, and if so, condition the approval to have the applicant address any site plan layout deficiencies before getting permission to commence business operation. 3, the above cited deficiencies regarding the current layout and the 1997 site plan approval are as follows. 1, the site plan shows that there are supposed to be 10 parking spaces designated and marked on the south side of the primary building, and the 5 spaces on the north side of the building. Also, 1 space in each of these areas was to be designated as handicap parking, including handicap designation signage and painted handicapped access aisles, for a total of 2 handicap spaces. The ZBA should include as a condition of approval that the parking space markings, signs, and access aisles be installed before commencing business operations. The 1997 site plan depicts the installation of landscape shrubs, legend identified as proposed shrubs, along the perimeter of the parking area south of the building, between the building and the Newburyport Turnpike, and along the north edge of the parking area located on the north side of the building, which have yet to be installed. 3, additional paved area in front of the current building that was not proposed as part of the approved site plan layout. Originally, the area was used for pedestrian access and landscaping shrubs. It should be noted this additional paved area adds impervious surface that might have significant impact on the stormwater runoff estimates. The ZBA may want to assess if some stormwater management measures, runoff quantity and quality may be warranted for this special permit approval. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to review the above referenced application on behalf of the planning board. And we have a letter here from the health department.
You're popular.
The application for 524 Newburyport Turnpike has been reviewed. The health department has a passing Title V inspection report dated December 7, 2015 for a commercial building. Information that a private well was installed at the property at 998 is in the Board of Health file. A letter is being sent to the owner regarding required testing and compliance with local regulations. The Board of Health has no comments on the application. Please contact the Health Department with any questions. And we have a letter here from the Board of Selectmen, I guess. Sent to our administrative assistant. On January 4th, 2016, the Selectmen reviewed the application from Jeff Antonelli for a special permit at 524 Newburyport Turnpike, and they have no comments on it. Thank you. Now, all that being said, Jeff, it's all yours. Tell us what you're doing and whatnot and so forth, and where you're at.
As far as, I mean, what I'm gonna use, the usage of the property, or where we're at with the, I don't think I follow your question.
Okay. You want to buy this property,
Correct.
and it has some issues of which you are aware, and you are the owner, right?
The daughter,
Huh?
the daughter of the owner.
She's representing.
I'm
the owners.
representing the owner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so, it's a case of changing from landscaping and power equipment to landscaping and fence company.
Mhm.
And that's what we're really dealing with. We may have to, I don't know how far you want to go with plans or anything else at this point. What are your thoughts on what I read?
Well, it was only brought to my attention actually this morning. Lisa called me about the hedge line for the buffer zone, which, you know, we actually didn't even have anything to do with them because that was the original builders of the building. So I mean, I don't know how how it pertains to anything, but, you know, basically, if there's an order of conditions out on the property, then in my P&S, if, you know, you guys want to uphold those order of conditions, then I was going to add it in that this needs to be met and satisfied before, you know, closing. You know, so I mean, it seems like the biggest issue was the hedge line, right? That you guys,
I believe so.
you know, which isn't really,
Could you, I didn't get your name.
Alexa.
Alexa, could you just clarify the ownership so we understand how, because we understood that you're purchasing it from...
Correct. So my father and his brother, so my dad is Andrew Kashuba, his brother Teddy.
Yeah.
The two of them bought the property in 2000 something for landscaping. And then when Teddy passed away a few years ago, my parents took over as ownership of the real estate. So that's why the AAK Realty now owns it, because they own the property. And my father owns the business, Agawam Wisteria.
Okay, so you're actually, so Agawam Asteria is actually representing both the property owner and the business owner.
Correct.
You're two different legal parties.
Correct.
Okay.
It's under one umbrella. AAK owns everything.
AAK owns the business as well.
Well, it's got, each one is its own LLC,
Yeah.
so, no, I guess no. AAK owns the real estate, and then Agawam Wisteria LLC owns the business part of it. So the business pays,
leases off of it.
leases off of the,
Yeah, I mostly want to know who's selling what to whom. As far as I'm concerned, the business sale, which is what you're buying on the one hand,
Right.
is a transaction that's independent to the real estate. It just happens to be
he's
there.
buying both.
He's
Correct.
buying both.
Yeah.
And if you package it in some way, that's fine.
Yes.
Because we're only going to draft any decision to him as a new owner. We just want to make sure that you actually have the right to sell the property.
Yes.
Because it's
Yes.
not
she's
clear
on
here.
the board.
I'm on.
Okay.
She's has power of attorney on both.
Correct.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. That's the one question I have about ownership. I have another question. Talk to us, I have a question from Mr. Chairman, for the rest of the board. Concom, which we only learned about, I think what day is today? Thursday?
Thursday.
We saw it Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay? And I don't think, I'll preface my comments by saying, I don't think there's any issue with your use. The issue isn't, you know, is that going to work? Is it fine? That's not the issue to me at all. There's stuff that's been hanging out there evidently that was undone by the people that your folks bought the business and the property from, that I have questions about and whether or not we need to be bound by. One, because here's my question. Those were conditions which were specifically developed for a business and an enterprise that doesn't operate there anymore. Doesn't operate in almost any way, shape, or form. And I'm wondering if, given the fact that it's not as though it was set up as a restaurant and the parking spaces were there for a restaurant, which is retail, and we've got another retail situation here, so we have to be sensitive to those things. So I'm questioning how much of the conditions, if any, that Concom originally put on the permit that you granted in the zoning board, we really have to be concerned about. Like the whole thing with the parking. That's a retail event. I mean,
I think it's not up to us to worry about that. In our decision, he will have to meet. We'll have put something in our decision that he has to meet whatever the Concom wants. And the Concom will review what's there and tell him what he's gotta do.
Well, if that's the case, then it would seem to me,
We're working under zoning, we're not working under the Conservation Commission or the Planning Board rules.
no, I understand that, but, and you prefaced in the prior decision that it's subject to whatever conditions Concom imposes.
That's right.
And that's fine. So all I'm saying is, can we dispense with being concerned about what was formerly required by Concom? Because we're gonna say again, okay, you look at this and you figure out what he has to do, and it becomes their concern. I don't care what they did. The best picture Concom provides us is 2 years old. I don't know that that's really what's out there, exactly where it is. So I'm wondering if what was done here before in our decision, the ZBA decision, which simply said you as an applicant have to conform to whatever Concom wants, then it becomes the applicant's need to go to Concom and say, okay, zoning says it's fine, now what I have to do? Whether they put shrubs there, that's up to them. Whether they worry about the border, well, I don't even touch it.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That makes it easier.
That's the way I interpreted it all.
Okay.
I'm at a loss. I mean, the application is to change ownership. It refers to 5.2.1, which has no reference at all to ownership.
Yeah.
It has to do with reference to change of use. As far as I can tell, there's no change of use.
Right. Well, except maybe for the fence part.
If there's a change of use, it's got to be in the application.
Right, that's right.
I know, and I agree, and I wonder if...
That's what I can't see.
Yeah, because you're right, it was a landscaping and it still is. And they
Okay,
had,
if the landscaping has been previously approved,
Yep.
then under what section of the bylaw do we have to entertain a change of ownership? If not-
It's not,
No,
it's
it's
not, it's not a question.
You're right.
It's not a question of change of ownership.
Well, that's what the application says. Is the application,
well, the application is saying he's buying it,
he says,
and the bill inspector sent them in, and then we talked to us last week.
okay, no, forget the building inspector, that's not, the application says continue what's already there. I'm asking if what's already there has already been approved or not.
The landscaping was approved, but the fence part wasn't approved. The fence business, they added
And
that.
that's what we talked about.
That's what we talked about. Landscaping has always been there, that's not changing.
Okay,
He's buying that, and when he's buying it as I understand it, he's buying it as both. And then
okay,
somebody
so
brought
the
up
reasons
that-
for the request have nothing to do with the transfer of ownership.
Correct.
It's the transfer of use.
Yeah.
Well, the same,
My sense,
Same
frankly,
use.
is that Jeff
the ownership of the same use,
misinterpreted
that's all.
this request. I think his, I think...
See, I'm
his
only
inter-
looking at what I got in front of me.
No, I know, but I'm thinking that, you know, he indicates he wants to continue the fence and landscaping at the site. Why is there any reason for him to be here at all? Because I'll buy in the business. And I think his interpretation of what that was not, you know, why are you changing the use? What is it changing from? Is there a change of use? Is it the same use?
So what was advertised?
This is, I think, what was advertised.
Well, if what you've advertised is merely a change of ownership and not a change of use, you got a defective ad. If you want to actually change the use from what's previously been allowed, you got to advertise that you have a different use you want to use it for.
Change the existing use.
Transfer of ownership. It doesn't say transfer of change in use. Here's the, that's why I was confused. I'm sitting here reading this stuff and saying, wait a
It
minute.
says Agawam Enterprise Link to Antonio Enterprise Link is changing.
Okay.
The reason for the request is the following transfer of ownership from what,
Okay,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
all right?
But we don't have jurisdiction under
continue-
521, we got no jurisdiction under change of ownership under 521.
Well, this is what we started in the first place, why they were even here.
Yeah,
That's what I said in the beginning.
okay,
It's just-
and you're right.
The reason they're here is because the permit originally was for landscaping and power
Equipment, right.
power equipment. All right, it's a lawnmower service business. All right,
Okay,
they went bankrupt. They sold the property to her father and uncle. All right? They started a fence business. There was a change of use at that point.
was that ever recognized?
It was never,
It's never brought to anybody's attention.
Nobody
there's
ever
no,
bothered it.
there's no,
Well, that's what they gotta ask for then.
and that's what he is asking for.
He
He's got
wants a
here,
fence, he wants to continue that
he wants
fence.
to continue that fence company that's there.
Landscaping he's already had, that was, but he added,
He wants to continue a use
no.
that's never been approved.
No,
That's
yeah, the
right,
fence part, the
Yeah,
fence, that's all.
right.
Yeah,
right. He
if
right.
you wanna say something, yeah. I mean,
So
it's
it's not
like
a
one,
continuance, what you're saying is,
no, the continuance is.
I want a use that's never been approved for on this property. It's not a continuance of something previously approved, it's a new use.
That, right, the fence is, yeah, that's why he's here.
Okay, no, I'm looking at the, application for transfer of ownership, that's what I'm looking at. That's not totally accurate.
No,
That's
that's,
like-
that's a
it's
misnomer.
incomplete.
That's the way it was when the last one sold,
We have no
so
authority.
they bought it,
Look,
and it went
can-
through.
Okay.
It was, Bagwell Wisteria
Right,
was a landscaping business,
Yeah.
then later on, they introduced fence.
Okay,
Which, when I spoke with my lawyer, he told me that fencing is considered landscaping, because that's what landscapers do, they use
That's what I would
fence.
say. That's what I would say.
It's the same thing, this is what he told me.
Says,
well, if landscaping is considered part of it, then it's not a change.
There's no change.
No.
I don't see a change. I don't.
They're just removing the power.
There's no reason to be here.
Okay, that's
Well,
what I'm
here-
saying, that it's transfer of ownership is
Except-
irrelevant then.
But the power equipment business
It's gone.
is gone.
It's gone. Doesn't mean a thing.
that was selling lawnmowers and snowblowers, I mean, it's been long gone.
Doesn't mean a thing.
Still get calls, though.
Yeah, that's-
Sure.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think what I really just want to do, and I took, your advice was just to bring the current zoning up to date and,
Make it
you
legal.
know, just, I want to make sure that if I'm going to spend the money, that you guys are okay and no someone's gonna knock on the door a month later, 6 months down the road and say, hey, why are you doing what you're doing here?
Of course,
Yes.
That's-
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I still see that as the value of why you're here.
Right.
Is because we can, as far as I'm concerned, there's no functional decision now that supports what you really want to do and protects you in that purchase in the event somebody wants to create an issue.
Right.
And we can issue a decision to you, subject to what the other town boards may say they're concerned about in terms of what you're doing, that will allow a more clear definition of what it is you want to do there. So I think going back to Don's point is, help us make sure we understand exactly what it is you want to do. So anything that you want included within the context of landscaping, we want to know. But what, instead of it being, well, it's fencing, does it mean sheds? Does it mean arborways? Does it mean, decks? I don't know what it means. Because those are the kinds of things that you could say, well, I put a fence up for a guy and he said, could you do a deck? And I can do a deck, and it was a good deal, so I did a deck.
Right.
And now I hired a crew to do a deck, and now I have it, and these how they, and you're nice and successful and everything, and then someone says, the guy has 8 trucks back there, what is he doing? Kind of thing. So help us understand if there's, those kinds of things a little bit, and the kind of equipment, again, we want to be able to itemize those kinds of things too.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically, landscape care company. just grounds care, and we do landscape construction, for patios, walkways, walls, stuff like that, and then hardscaping as far as fencing, arborways. We don't do decks.
You keep all those materials on site? For the most part, or whenever you do a,
No, not landscaping.
do you go get it? Is it somebody
Yeah,
else
we-
get it, you buy it?
Yeah, we
install
deal
it?
with Wolf Hill primarily.
Yeah.
For, hardscaping and
Yeah.
and bulk materials and stuff like that. The fence, obviously you can see in the pictures, is, it's stock there.
But a lot of it is special order.
Yeah, that was probably, April, springtime, so it's probably, brought in for jobs and then goes right back out.
Yeah.
But, primarily, from what I've gathered from the fence company, when vinyl first came out, it was basically all white. Now they have so many different colors, variations, that, like she said, everything's special order now, so it's really just, you get a job, you order the materials in, they get dropped off, you pick them up, put them on a truck, and then they go out and go get installed. There's really not much stock there anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There is some, but it's not, there's not a large stock in it. And the same thing with landscaping, it's basically, we send crews out in the morning, and they're out all day, and then they just come back and park the equipment for the night and go home, and the same thing with the fence, and then we don't have any retail customers for landscaping, we just, someone might stop in if they see a sign to say, what do you guys do, whatever, but, and then the fence has minimal,
Rarely.
retail, it's a
Saturdays,
lot
a
of,
couple of people.
yeah.
See, that's why I don't want to get involved with any of the parking space stuff. I would
Yeah,
make
you don't
sure
really
that
need
Concom knows that, because you're not operating as a retail
No.
site.
No, there's a storefront, it's an office, basically, people want to stop by and they may, but it's not like, you're not wholesaling fence, it's really just a holding yard,
Right,
it's a.
right.
You're not,
I want
you're not retailing fence.
Correct, yeah, if someone came in.
You said wholesaling, you're not retailing it.
Yeah,
But he's not even wholesaling, he's saying.
Yeah,
Right,
no,
but
it's not like.
retailing would be where the parking comes in.
Right.
Right.
He's
well,
not even, he
people
doesn't,
can-
he just sells by custom order. I call him, I come out, he looks at my site, you
Right.
give me an estimate of
Right, and
everything.
then a few
you do
people
my
might
thing.
stop by, that's what there's some displays set up that they might look, but, no, it's not.
How many, you talked about this in our last meeting. How many, you said mostly pickups?
Yeah. it's just,
Eight-wheelers or?
Six-wheelers, yeah, we had a couple
Six-wheelers.
dump trucks, nothing over CDL, so they're all lightweight trucks. And they're primarily used just for, landscaping purposes. Anything larger than that, we order from Bentley Warren or,
Yeah.
TW Excavating.
They just bring it to site?
Yeah, they bring it to site, yeah.
Do you have storage facilities for bark mulch and stuff like that?
Yeah, we'll have small orders, nothing, largely stocked,
But it's for your use.
Right, yeah, we don't sell it, yeah, no, we
You
just use
don't
it,
sell it to the guy off
we'll
the
order
street.
through Wolf Hill. No, we don't sell it.
You don't have 50 yards of each sitting there, or?
No, really, we might, we'll go through Wolf Hill,
Yeah.
and get an order through Wolf Hill, and then we'll load it up on our trucks and
Take it
order
to site.
Yeah, but it's not like trucks are rolling in, buying it off of us, we're not a retail site for landscape supplies, it's just for our own use. Any good large size jobs, we have the materials directly delivered, dropped, and we spread them into whatever we have to do there, so.
How about waste? Where does waste go?
We have a permit with the town of Ipswich,
Okay,
so we
take it to the
do
dump.
the recycling at the town of Ipswich, yeah, so we bring it to the town dump,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
everything gets disposed of there, and then, Mayor Tree takes brush and stuff like that, so, or large logs, if anything.
Current staff and expected growth?
Right now, this season we had 8 guys plus myself.
8?
8, yep. And honestly, I'm not really looking to grow that much bigger. I'm pretty much comfortable where I'm at, and just looking more to focus in the fencing and maintain what I'm at now.
Mm-hmm.
Largely the move's more after me just owning versus renting. That's
Right,
kind of
right.
where we're going with it. The fencing, there's one employee right now. So, and then her father too. So basically, with combining them, there'll be like 11, 12 employees.
Okay.
So, and that's not even, on site, there'd be two or three guys there in a day.
Do 11, 12 people bring vehicles to the site every day?
No, most of my guys, for landscaping wise, take trucks home. So we have pickup trucks, so they take the trucks home with them at night, and then they drive them in the morning, get their marching orders, grab a trailer, and then head out. So we only have maybe 2 or 3 vehicles extra a day.
Is that similar or dissimilar to current, would you say?
Right now, we had 3 trucks. That was it. And they've slowly dissipated.
Okay. Hours of operation?
For landscaping, we're there, 6:37. I'm usually there, the guys come in at 7, and then the trucks are out the door by like 7:20, 7:30. And then they're usually back by between 4 and 5, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then parked for the night, and that's it. Same thing with the fencing's like 8 to 5. And then Saturdays, we really work on landscaping. Sometimes in the spring, if we're busy, we might do a half day, like 8 to 12. And then fencing's
Same.
8 to 12 on Saturdays and
Nothing
Sundays.
Sundays?
Yeah,
Nothing sometimes.
No.
By
So-
appointment only.
By appointment only. So you don't need hours for Sunday access to the site, other than obviously you're going in.
Yeah, I might pop in.
Yeah,
and,
that's not a big deal.
do some, maintenance or something like that, but I mean, it's not, no, we won't run trucks.
Okay.
On a Sunday, we won't work on trucks, and I really try not to even work on Saturdays, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
My philosophy is kind of like, if you hired me to do your landscape and you want to be out there doing a barbecue and have us mowing your lawn around it, so.
It's true.
You hired us for a reason, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I don't have any other questions really about it. If you're comfortable with what we can do, and I think we can draft a permit. I do think the ownership issue is a misunderstanding about what we were looking for. Because you're right, we don't have any authority to deal with, the transfer of ownership. That doesn't certainly come under us, and we've never granted anybody anything because somebody else bought a house. It's just, what does the new owner want to do with the house?
Right.
Transfer of ownership is up to lawyers like these guys.
Yeah.
They'll help you make sure those things get done correctly. You got anything else? You got anything?
Thank you.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else that,
Do we have to do a decision, or are we doing something that makes a decision?
I think we should,
yeah, I think we should.
just
Sure.
just to reinforce the fact that the zoning's okay.
It's okay.
And it's subject to, opinion is subject to conditions. So that's fine, because that helps him in terms of his
Right.
P&S. That's very simple, really,
Yeah.
right? Would you agree?
Yeah,
That's what
I
we-
agree.
that's what we-
You wanna make that motion?
Yeah, I mean, well, you want me to make the motion?
Yeah.
I'll make the motion that we draft a decision in support of the applicant's request to continue the non-conforming use associated with the landscaping business, and further to identify the fencing business as an allowed non-conforming use at the location, as requested, subject to the conditions of any other boards, and subject to any other, most of the concerns with the Concom and their boards, and that it be granted under Section 5.2, finding that the added use is not in any way detrimental to the existing uses, and therefore the board finds it acceptable. To that effect, more or less.
So is that the reason, the whole notion of the arborways and stuff like that would be included, I mean, the broad kind of use?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that way, and I'll, in the decision, we'll try to be specific about hours and times, and that's what we want to know. They'll be in there, so you see it, okay? That way, 97, what is this, 15? If this comes up again in 20 years, there'll be someone there that someone can say, we won't be here, but.
Yeah.
So do we have to say what the time is now, so we already established the time?
What time? Oh,
I mean,
we're gonna have to, Now, let's go.
You got a restaurant next door that opens up at 6. You get the hot top place further up the street that's running out at 6:30. You got the other 2 restaurants there going.
Well, if we gave you hours 6 to 6 Monday through Friday and 6 to 12 on Saturday, is that sufficient?
Yeah.
I mean, no one's gonna be watching you, but we wanna
Yeah.
give you
Just so you have
hours
something.
that you have to
no,
work.
that's all
in.
I'm
yeah,
saying.
absolutely.
Is that
To-
fine?
to a loaded
I mean,
running
and
equipment
hey,
loading
in the
truck.
summer, if you do a late job, no one's gonna be saying,
Yeah.
7:15.
Makes me go home.
No, okay, I got a question. On the fencing, if I hired you to do my landscaping and I want to have a fence, can I come to your property to view the fencing and so forth and want to see what you have?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would need parking for people to come in.
So you do it by appointment.
You
Yeah.
do it by appointment,
Yeah.
right, or whatever. So, there should be something in there for parking.
Well, there's no retail sale, right?
What?
Parking. He's
Well,
still, no,
it's-
but he's still gonna have customers come there, whether it's retail or not.
Right.
Well, you wanna make a provision for parking?
Well, is there a current provision? Because
Well, he's got parking out front. I got the picture here if you want
Yeah,
to
there's
look at
parking
it.
spots out front,
There's-
and it's
there-
handicap
parking
access
out.
already out front with railings.
There's plenty, there's
Plenty
plenty
of
of
parking
there.
out
there's
no,
plenty
we're
of
talking
there,
about
but
the prior decision is what Don's talking about.
Yeah, no, only in the,
Well, I'm sure that had to be, yeah, well, the prior decision should cover it anyway, because
Concom.
they actually had a store in it.
Right, I didn't see it in the prior decision.
It's
That's what I
not.
was looking for.
it's not, Concom
No.
is the only one that comes close to
But
addressing.
I was just going by the letter that we got from the planning board that they didn't want to see a couple of handicap designated spots and parking for people.
Yeah, I mean, I think the decision should address
So
parking.
I think the decision should address that.
Yeah,
There's plenty
One
more.
handicap
There's
and
plenty
six parking.
well,
Plenty-
the prior
plenty of
decision,
room.
the prior decision does address it. It says parking shown on the plan.
That's what I thought.
So that refers to the plan.
Right.
And if the prior plan is adequate, then we just adopt it.
I think the prior plan has too many spots, to be honest. It
Well,
has
that
like
would be our,
12.
I
that would
think
be
one
our
of the-
motion.
You probably need 5 max.
I think one of the issues with the plan you guys
Yeah.
are probably viewing is
You got
that
a handicap
the
and
septic
one,
system is near
3, 4, 5,
the
6, 7,
far
8,
side of the
9,
building,
10.
Yeah.
where it's showing
You
an
got 10
additional
parking places and a
The
handicap.
septic system is not exactly
Right
where
here.
I think the original plan spec'd it out, so
Okay.
you wouldn't be able to get those parking spaces in without running into the issue with the septic system.
So if you're looking at the building, really the only spot you could park is to the right.
That's already established.
That's already established as parking.
This
Yeah.
one shows the
Over
left.
here.
Right, you
Yeah.
can't have the left.
But the septic system
No,
and
you
that
can't have
drawing you
it.
have,
It's
they shifted it like
That's what they said.
30 feet further forward, so there's not enough room to actually fit those parking
Okay.
spots. So I don't think that's why they didn't.
All right, and it was approved then too, so,
Right.
yeah.
So I think the only
We can reference
parking you
this
would
plan.
really need is on the right-hand side.
Right.
That's already
Right, building.
established. I mean, basically, you
What's
just need to
all
put a
this?
handicap sign
The
in.
first slot is
These
a
were the
handicap slot.
the shrubs and the parking, but because of where this ended up
Well,
being
we
put is where
usually
he's
park, so
saying.
you just-
Are the 10 spaces that are on the,
Left side.
Right, correct.
on the
This-
south
That's where the
side?
septic, that's too close to the septic system.
Ah.
That's where you
So-
don't have it.
No, if you got, so basically, this building isn't here. This isn't to scale. This building's actually right here.
Yeah.
And the septic system's actually
pushed up.
right here.
Yeah.
So these spots aren't here.
Don't exist.
This grass line is basically like almost off the edge of the building. So these parking, this isn't paved.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Do you-
runs in a straight line.
Want to show them on
over.
this here?
Do you have a copy of this plan?
I have a copy of this plan, but that's not an as-built. That's the proposed plan.
Right.
That's the problem.
So
If you
here's,
look at
here's a photo, which, is this building supposed to be that?
I got it
building?
right
yeah,
here on the
that's what I'm
iPad.
saying, it's not. So see this building? It's not over here where that's laid out on your plans. If you look at this building is actually right here, and this is the septic field.
Yeah.
So the That's the leaching field, and the tank's actually right here.
Yeah.
So we could get maybe 3 spots in here,
Mm.
but these are displays. So realistically, these are where the spots are, and we could probably add a handicap one in here, and there's actually pavement going in there.
If, right now, if I've been by your site and I always like to look at things, and when I see those fences sitting there, I'm inclined to drive up. If I'm blind and I have no idea where I'm going, where am I inclined to park right now?
Generally, people park here, parallel here, or usually people come in
Yeah.
and they park right here, head on to the building, to the side of the building there.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you're gonna do a spot, handicap spot, I would say either here or right here.
Wow.
But, you know, you wouldn't be able to do this
In front
here,
of the
'cause you'd be
building
in a septic
has
system.
no stairs, so the side has to.
Yeah, there's a handicap ramp already. This is paved
Yeah.
and ramped in and goes right in, and then there's a door here, and it goes right up into that double doors there
Yeah.
for handicapped access.
So you got, this is the overhead door here.
No, that's a porch. That's there. Sorry, that's a porch. So this is the steps right here. Can you zoom in here? There you go. So this is the steps, and then there's a handicap ramp that comes around this side and comes
okay.
up, and then this is the main. This is one front door, and then there's another front door right here.
Okay.
So you would park here, and you could either come. I would say head. You know, generally people park head on here, and then walk around. You can come up the steps or come around here. So this pavement goes all the way to the building. So I could say if you wanted to do a handicap spot, you can paint it on the pavement here,
Mhm.
so they can come out and go right up the ramp here. And then, I mean, I think that would be the probably best.
Could we,
space.
yeah, I guess the only thing I would be interested in doing is seeing whatever we do, and I'm getting more anxious about getting too deep into it, is that it be marked. So that when we drive in, I can see where the handicap space is, either by sign and something on the ground,
Yeah.
and I can see a non-handicap spot as well, so I know where not to park.
The only issue with this is gravel. The pavement ends here. If you look at this picture, it's better. This is gravel. So if you put it here, it would be tough to maintain the painting. I mean, we could paint it every couple of weeks.
This is pavement out
You
here?
don't need a paint.
So the pavement, this is pavement. Do you mind if I borrow the pen?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is the pavement ends right here. So this is the pavement line, and then it goes. It's paved up to the building. So actually, this is their father's truck. This is where he parks.
Yeah,
I would say suggest putting it right here. I mean,
because
spot
this
right
is all
here.
pavement down
It's
here?
all pavement, and then the ramp goes right up this way.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I would say do it there. That way,
I think
it's
you
marked on
want
the
it as
pavement.
close. You
Yeah.
want it close.
And then we can put a sign right on the building, right there. Because if I did it here, if I painted lines in here, they wouldn't.
Yeah, no, that's
be
fine.
erased.
Right,
So,
that makes sense to me.
You think we need a new plan?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm willing to bet that Brent is gonna want a new plan. Because if the best picture we have is that, it's not,
Okay, all right.
That's not hard.
I'll tell you what. I'm sure Brett's gonna want a new plan. So.
You can't really adopt this plan where you've got this up here.
I mean, this is the as-built. They have,
Yeah.
you know, file.
Okay.
Here's the as-built of exactly what's there.
That's exact.
As built.
This is the as-built for the septic the town has on file, and this is the actual. So, no, actually, this is the. Is this where? Yeah,
looks like it.
yeah. And
Is that the tank?
Yep, because the tank comes right over here, and the septic field's here. I think this building just shifted this way a little bit. I don't know why they didn't do it in this draft, but that's different from, I think, whatever plan you guys had. So this would be, you know, this is paved, and this is gravel,
Yeah.
and then this is the access.
I'm just curious, you know.
This is still a 97 plan.
Brent has made comment about this building may be in the buffer zone. All right? Now, if you look at the picture,
Yeah, that was built and, that was all laid out and built with the, the
okay,
building
all right,
permit.
this is all grown in now.
Yeah.
No, this is clear. The woods line,
Woods
the
are back
woods is
there.
right here. This is all clear.
But looking at from up top, there's more room
Yeah.
in the bottom.
The wood starts right about here. The woods line roughly runs pretty much the property line, and then runs this line, and then over, all comes like this way.
So you never got a copy of that.
I don't know what the.
No.
That's what the
No.
Conservation Commission is asking, recommending, et cetera.
Is that that's what came out Tuesday? You sent that to me this
Yesterday.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that this morning.
All right, that's an as-built plan.
The septic.
Septic. Where's your well?
It's over, they're on town water too though, so the well's just over outside water, the well's right here. And it runs up and it runs into the
Old well to
building.
be abandoned.
This is the new well right here.
That's the new
Those
well.
wells right here, that's already in, and there's town water. So this well only feeds one outside spigot that's in front of the building,
Oh,
and the rest of the building's on town water. So the well really, they did water tests and everything on the well, on the environmental that we did.
The 21 evening.
Yeah.
But the building's served by town water.
Both. The well runs into the building, and then in '05 or '06, the town, when they actually built Fox Hill, is that Fox
Yeah,
Run?
development.
Fox Run, they brought town water up the road, and they offered to bring it into the
Oh.
building, so he brought town water in. So basically, the building runs off town water, but he kept the well alive for just like outside usage, washing
Watering.
stuff and
Watering.
Washing.
Yeah.
Watering your
watering
plants.
plants and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
So
might as well.
so it's fed by both now.
To fill the wetland up,
okay.
mosquitoes give them something to drink.
Right, there's no change in the building at all.
No.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, nothing's been changed.
so that's an as-built plan.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, do we want to specify then X amount of spaces, and their location, along, Route 1 to include one handicap space?
I think that's all you need. I mean, because you don't want to ask for a new plan, right? Doesn't make sense.
Can I just make a suggestion? After being there for so many years and watching it, the mail truck won't even go through the area if there's any cars right there. So my suggestion is to keep this right here, and that's it. Because you can't access in here anyway. This is for employees only. This is really the only place where you can walk in. Then there's a walkway that's right here. So,
Oh, okay.
so
all
my
right,
suggestion is to keep the parking here.
all right,
Because the lady will not go.
okay.
Over mail.
That would be parking for the general public.
Correct.
Is this parking for your employees?
That parking's not there.
Right.
No, that's the
what the septic is
The
too
septic
close.
is,
That's the leaching field.
the leaching field, the septic's here,
Yeah.
and the pavement only comes up to this point. It comes off the edge of the building and runs straight over to the property line, or straight over to this
Okay.
line here.
Because this is leaching area here.
Yeah.
And that's where the fences are. If
He
you
has
look at the,
displaying, he's
That's
displaying.
what
These are all
displays
displays right here.
Okay,
So what I propose to do is just open up, move a few displays and have a couple spots right here for employees. And then they can walk through this way. And then leave this for the general public open.
yeah, okay,
And then,
yeah, okay.
and then again, this bushes aren't here, so the spot would be right here. I would say it would be the best spot for the handicap. So they're on asphalt the whole entire time going into the building. Because this is gravel, that's why it's marked like,
Can keep in mind that, you know, as it relates to these kinds of things, you know, we're not gonna be able to make a call on that. So you may get requested, you may get asked to put those in.
Yeah, well, this bed's established. This is established up to here, and then it's pavement up to the building on this point. Which because there's a storefront, there's a door here and there's a door here to the
Yeah.
building. So that's why you can't put a mulch bed in front of the door. So
Okay.
this bed actually does exist here, and it comes up and it terminates here.
What stops?
Yeah, and then there's a door, there's an entryway here with a glass storefront, and there's an entryway here with a glass storefront.
I see.
So you can't put that there, and this bed actually is there.
Okay,
So, and
That's
this
fine.
whole mulch bed's there as well.
that's fine,
So-
that's fine.
I'm not here, I'm not really here.
All right.
Well, then we can just say, I mean, the drawing suggests that there are, what, 4 and 1 there? Is that
Yeah.
essentially what's there?
Yeah.
All right, then we could note that, leave the as-built plan description of parking on the north side of the building intact.
Mhm.
I could paint on the gravel.
I
Put a sign in the.
Or
ground.
just put a
Something,
sign.
sign,
I could put a sign,
something.
There's a mulch bed right there, I can put a handicap sign.
Just put a
Oh,
handicap
yeah.
sign,
Yeah.
So we
yeah.
don't, we do need, it's just a sign.
Yeah. All right.
It's a side of it's a building here, right?
Yeah,
Even if you put a sign that said, customer parking or something,
yeah.
that's what the post
Yeah, I can
office
put a
does.
handicap and a customer
Handicap
parking.
and a couple spots,
Yeah.
none of us know where we're going, but you can squeeze in there, so
Yeah,
it works.
it's pretty, when people pull in, it's natural to pull right up there.
Yeah,
It knows in.
fine. All right, I don't have anything else.
So you just have to amend your motion, that's all. Did motion you made already to include the parking, right? Essentially.
Well, certainly, I mean, technically, I'm gonna include all the conditions, so.
Because you did make the motion.
And Brent, there's a motion on the floor.
There's a motion on the floor.
Right.
Is that okay now?
Yeah, I'm good. Is there anything else you think you need, you want?
No, I
I'll-
think,
That we
I'll
can give
second
you?
it.
no.
I don't know what
else you offering?
No, you have to ask.
No, I think that, no.
If you're happy you made it, I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Now, when do you guys need a document? I could have done that before we had all these other papers. When I saw them coming in, I went to Lisa.
That's up to,
The sooner the better. Right now, closing's set for the February 29th, I believe.
Oh,
So,
no problem.
as long as we can have something
No problem.
documented by then to put in the P&S, that's all.
That's fine.
Feb. 1 okay?
Yeah, sure. Feb. 1? Oh, what do you think?
No,
it's a week.
That's 7 days? 8 days?
Too early?
February 7th. Can you do that?
Yeah, that's fine, as long as we have some documentation.
We could draft, the chairman could draft a letter saying it's been approved subject to conditions and a final document. That could be ready on Monday.
Yeah, that'd be great. That way we
Does that-
can just
would that work?
put it in the,
Yep,
the
that works.
Does that
Dropbox
work?
and they can,
Okay,
the
we can do
lawyers can
that.
digest it and
Yep.
do whatever they have to do with it. That'd be great.
Get it, you get it from her,
Okay.
okay?
Ring the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell.
Can I ask for her to be brought to the first floor?
If you can figure out how to do that, go for it. All right, I got nothing. Anything else? Good night.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. I appreciate you guys' time.
Okay.
Do you guys want to keep that copy or do you need that?
No, take that with you, it's yours, ain't it?
Yeah, we have another draft, but
Oh, we keep passing them out, so.
Yeah.
I only have 2
do you
left.
need it?
We need something referred to, what?
I
do
can
we
pop
have
back in
this
and
small
pick up
one.
Monday.
Do you have a small?
Do you have all the stuff there?
No.
We had,
No.
I'll take that.
Thank you.
Bring,
I still have one.
You have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
can you somehow get it copied or something, made smaller or something?
I have a small one.
There's one in the original, there's a-
So I would,
that's what I used to do the original, in the application, on the back
I'd like
page.
to refer to it.
Is
So he
this,
has one.
Is that the
If you
same
look at your
one?
my application on the back page, it's what I use.
that the same?
I mean, this is loose here.
No,
It looks
No.
the same?
no, there's none of that.
None of that's there.
Well, septic's here, this one here.
That one, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that one's better.
That one.
And that shows the spaces. It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll have to identify it as an exhibit, I guess, right? Because there's no date, there's nothing. on
Well,
it.
but you do on this one, that's the point.
Well, right, but how do we tie this to this? If I
You get a
say
copy.
this,
You get a-
well, that's all right, we got a copy of this,
Right.
that would be fine. Is
Yeah,
that
can you bring a
possible?
copy into that?
You can just keep, I have another
You
one.
have another?
Yeah.
You do?
We can just,
Okay.
yeah, because I can just bring the other
So
one to
you got it.
Staples and make a
Okay,
copy of it.
fine.
Yeah, 'cause I just,
Well, you can have that.
Yeah, you guys keep that one. And I'll make a copy of the one that I have.
Right.
And then Tom Army has one. He sent it back with the environmental as
Yes.
well that I gave him a draft of.
Worst case, if you needed it for a closing, we could
I
loan it
have my
back out.
No, I have,
I have my
I know I have
And
one.
you, and then
I'm
Yeah.
just get it
Alright,
back
with
after.
it.
No, I have one and we gave one to the environmental, closing the 21E, so
Okay.
right.
we're getting
Good.
that back.
Good.
So we should be all set.
Stay warm.
Yeah, we'll track. All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.
So he's gonna close subject. He's gonna even close before the Concon. I mean, this is interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, he's gonna have to deal with
He's
that.
gonna deal with that.
Unless he just
can-
basically says,
You can close and accept the conditions after, I suppose, but that's his affair.
yeah, right.
Just curious, thinking ahead.
Okay.
Very
Check
good.
with-
Good job.
Check with Brent.
It's interesting.
I'm sure he's gonna want to.
Well, because this decision is subject to the conscom.
Right. And, have him, hold on, say,
This is,
give us a final plan. Give us a final plan.
Give us a final plan? You think I think he gave us everything he had. Do you?
Yeah, but he's gonna require,
Oh, you mean after it's all said and done?
after it's
Yeah,
all said
fine,
and done.
yeah, okay, fine. Yep.
see the waterway here? Coming down. We want you water. Nobody says nothing about that construction place. That's nothing to do with what we just did. That's further up. That's where we used to have the auctions, and look at all the stuff there, look at the wetland.
You know what was also interesting in this decision? I was reading here,
He doesn't know
The word
about all
says-
this.
the chairman read the minutes of the previous session, using a copy of a previous permit approved for this site as a guide.
This is a-
She couldn't find any permit
Chips
other
and
than
tacos,
97
and
was right.
trucks.
The board established the necessary finding for the continued non-conforming commercial use. I don't know what that is.
Well,
Where am I?
that's why the current decision should reference all the plans.
Central Street? Is that
How
Central?
is that, yeah.
The only
Water
plan is that
department?
original plan.
No, that's not Central
The
Street.
original decision.
Well,
Back here.
You can't, man, you know, you-
This central,
This is
here.
Central Street.
Okay.
That.
They got all
That's
the
it.
cars in there, but right
right?
here is where they park, yeah, they got all their trucks and stuff, and look at the water right on the edge. We don't bother
Yeah, that's
with
good.
that, but he's gonna bother.
That's good.
This is what
We
gets.
have
me.
that,
Right.
so I have that.
That's good.
You have it, I have it, that's
It
fine.
is, yeah, good, good.
That was fine. So then they could actually have that plan.
Well,
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give it to him, 'cause we don't need it, and I don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I do too, I just was curious.
Well, I do for a while. Not forever. Not forever.
Not really, I have a bunch, I just wouldn't stick them in there when you're looking at it.
Well, I have to assume that
Don,
if I need to get Adam,
You asked me
the town's
to
copies would have to
check out
be adequate.
81,
I can't,
and I
can't store,
found
I don't know, how storage space.
chapter 81
It's easy to do.
and section 81, so I didn't know which one you really wanted to explore. So I printed out both of them.
Remember this Tom Levitt, Newbury Road.
Number is what?
Tom Levitt, Newbury Road.
I missed them,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Oh, look up his house, he's legal.
Oh, jeez.
Please.
I'd like to give you something for Christmas.
Oh,
I don't forget.
I all forgot.
No,
Totally.
see, I don't. Okay, so you make sure you have that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks. Totally forgot.
So, but I don't.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I wasn't sure if that was something you were looking for, Dawn.
I don't know what that is.
In fact, I got a store I owned when I left the Navy on duty. I went down and I owed my landlord $500. And I actually had bought the trailer from another officer. And it took me for years I didn't pay him because I just took off. I was a single guy. I happened to meet him at a reunion many years later. He remembered, and I remembered, and I paid him.
Oh, is that?
I really don't know.
I wrote that check out. It was bugging me for all those years.
Right.
Yeah, I finally settled up.
Just to be clean.
Just, because it bothered me.
Yeah, no, I know. I know.
That was ridiculous. I was so young, JG, I didn't care. It's tough. Screw it.
Right, I'm out of here. Goodbye.
I'm out of here, but that was not a good thing. A few years later, so I happened to meet him. At a meeting, just freedom thing. Because I haven't seen him since before.
He's lucky he ran into you, I guess.
Well, I'm lucky I ran into him.
Well, thank you. I tell you, jeez. I don't have any excuse. You guys are all older than me, so I can't do better.
I'm afraid I am.
Are we supposed to fill these out?
The town wanted me to hand them out to you. It's up to you.
Yeah, I got this by email too, but so I'm gonna sit down with the wife and see, but good grief.
I know, huh?
Somebody who's very personable and relates to
Yeah,
families
it
and
has common sense in
creative.
the answer to the public when they walk in. Not that he's tied up and busy.
Accessible. There's a lot of
It'd
things.
be nice to see him get one guy that's within too, instead of an out of town.
That'd be nice.
No?
No, I don't know anybody, that's the trouble, I don't know. Personally, I don't know who was,
Well, there's a lot of new guys practically. I mean, within the next 4 or 5 years, everybody's gonna be retired that have been there for a long time. It's all new kids that are in.
All I know is every time I see a policeman in a car, I go, my God, he's 30 years younger than I am.
yeah.
They look like kids too.
Yeah, they do. They look like kids. They look younger sometimes. It's good. You're pulling me over? Really? You know how to drive that car?
That's a great opening.
I don't know.
Okay. Because you mentioned section 81, and there's so many. There's section 81, Z, Y. So I just wanted you to take a look at that and get back to me on it if you want.
Oh,
Okay.
Lisa, I feel so bad. You sound like you're. I hope you
I
feel
kinda
better
think
than you sound.
You know what it is, Tom? I kinda think she's been here too long. She's getting to talk like, Dawn. Can't hear her.
Oh, you know.
I told him we were looking for a bass soloist in that choir.
funny,
Okay.
very funny.
Okay.
Now, gentlemen, you'll see wording in red is what I've either added
Oh,
or changed based on what your requests were last meeting.
oh, terrific.
And then the strike-throughs are what you wanted me to do away with, but I left them here to show you.
So this is the first rendition, right?
This is the first,
Rendition, right.
You close the meeting.
So I'll
First
work-
amended.
First amendment.
yes,
First
First
Amendment
Amendment, yeah.
Good, good, good. So I'll work from that.
Should we close the meeting?
We need to close the meeting. Yeah, we should.
Well, are we still doing
Depends
this
if
in
you're
the
having a
context of the
discussion.
meeting? Are we doing this in the context of the meeting, or no?
I don't think you have to, do you?
Didn't we last time?
Well, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Well,
But we brought it up. This way here we can.
Well, I think if we're gonna take any action on it.
or just debate or discuss.
Right. So we have to
What's
leave
the
the
word they
meeting
use in the open meeting?
deliberate?
Executive-
Deliberate, right.
Deliberate, yeah, we can go in deliberation.
Yeah, if we're deliberating, you can't close the meeting.
Well, how about if we go in executive session?
Can't do that either.
Now we're gonna get.
Yeah, now you're asking for it.
I guess you're gonna have to stay and supper. You remember that, there was 4 against
No, you don't have to do that. You can let everybody read it on their own and
Yeah.
then do it next time after
Yes.
everybody's read it.
That might be a good idea. I'll make that, you make
Because-
that motion, I'll
Make a
second
motion.
it.
Because there is a lot to look at. I
Yeah.
changed a lot based on what
Then
you
look at it,
requested.
we can
Okay,
look at it
all right,
at leisure
on
time.
page-
What time
on
is it?
page 7,
Yeah,
I see all this red. Now,
Yep.
explain what it is.
It's 7.
I wrote, Tom, you wanted info on time frame.
Mhm.
The following paragraph is taken from Mass General Laws. The following modifications to the paragraph are to suit the ZBA rules, or should I leave as is? I've written notes to each one of you based on what you wanted me to change.
Okay.
So,
Well, you're right, as I'm flipping through, I'm seeing more and more red, and I agree, rather than debate it tonight, you know, sit here and debate. I mean, some of it looks like we changed zoning board of appeals to ZBA, so there's no debates,
Yeah,
there's no debates
I mean, it
there.
makes it a lot simpler. If I read it and say I like everything Tom did, then I don't have to read it tonight and say I like it.
Okay.
All right.
Whatever.
You make the motion or close the meeting?
Okay, so you want us to go through this on our own and come back next month?
oh, sure.
That's what
If
you want to do?
If you want.
Okay,
Absolutely,
okay.
because I haven't read it.
What will be our next steps? Once we agree to a final copy,
I have to send it to the lawyer,
town council?
town council.
We have to send it to the town council
Town
first.
council
Or
first.
selectmen,
Town council.
town council.
And they review it, they look it over, and then if they have any changes to make, then it comes back before.
Us again?
Yes,
Then it has to go back to him again?
yes. And then if they're okay with everything,
Then we're all done.
they would come back here to vote on it.
And then once we vote on it, it goes to the selectmen?
Yeah, well, for a copy, actually, for the,
They get a copy of it.
right, for a copy.
Oh, but it's becomes an operating document on our final approval?
Right,
Oh, okay,
that's correct, once it's voted on. And then
okay.
a copy, I'm pretty sure I have to give one to Sue Hazen, the town clerk.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's shorter than I thought.
I just want to say one thing also. The page numbers are not going to line up because everything is, I've added my notes. So just so you're aware,
Yeah, fine.
I've added an index like you requested, but the page numbers are not going to add up, and they won't until the final sheet.
Oh,
That's fine, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so what's in red is new.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, works for me.
All right.
Do we need a motion?
Make a motion to close the hearing?
Second.
I mean, adjourn.
Yeah, to adjourn.
Yeah, hearing was already closed.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
All right,
Aye.
We're adjourned.
thank you.
I need your signature. It's a bill.